Is rental income for child support purposes? Hi, I'm Alycia Kinchloe, the owner of Kinchloe Law, a family law practice based in the Philadelphia area. Now, when we think of child support, we often think of the income that we earn from our jobs as being the income that the court will use to determine how much we can pay for child support, or if we're on the other side and we're the person receiving the support, how our income is counted for child support purposes. But the statute says there's a host of things that is considered income. It's not the income just from your job. It's not even just the income from just your main job. Any income that you receive can be income that the court can use to determine how much you can contribute to the support of your child or children. So when it comes to rental income, you want to also understand that that also can be considered in terms of your total income available for purposes of paying child support. But rental income is a little special, like some of the other types of incomes that the court will look at, because there are some things that the court needs to reduce from that income to make sure it's actually rental income. And then there also are some issues that arise when determining what's the correct amount of income to assign to someone who is receiving rental income. So I want to talk about this in a couple of different ways. The first way is if you basically do not have another job and your rental income is your full income. So let's say you're a real estate mogul and you own a lot of doors or a lot of properties where you receive income and that supports you and your lifestyle. Now, generally, when someone is not working, we see the court impute an earning capacity. However, if the income that you make from your real estate dealings is enough to support you, and oftentimes, if it was enough to support you during the time that you were in the relationship with the child's other parent or supported you for a period of time just generally, the court can say, well, that's your income. Now, one of the things they can look back to is maybe other income that you received doing other types of work. So, if before you became a real estate mogul, you were a teacher, for example, and you were making $60,000 a year, and now you earn $80,000 a year, the court may say, okay, well, fine, that's enough income for us to show, especially since it's more, that is income for for purposes, and there does not need to be an imputing of an earning capacity. That's a fair argument to make. Now, this is the point in the video where I'm going to remind you again that you want to speak with an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case, and you need to understand, especially in situations where we're talking about non-traditional forms of income, that is very nuanced, and there's a lot of things that goes into consideration, a lot of ways that arguments can be made, and a lot of ways that you can support those arguments through evidence. So again, that's why it's important to speak with an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case. So again, if you're earning a significant amount of money from your real estate offerings or dealings, there's an argument to be made that that should be your earning capacity because you are, and oftentimes if you have enough doors to be able to support that type of income, then you probably are working a significant amount. Now, that's not always the case. Now, when it comes to earning capacity, the court can also impute an earning capacity with regard to the ability to earn towards a job. So that's a previous video that we've done, and probably one that I'll dig a little bit more deeper into on another video. But you can always look back to our video about earning capacity and how the court can establish your ability to earn. But again, if you look at some of your past jobs, and if the money that you're making from your real estate earnings or dealings is more than what you made from your past job, there is an argument to be made that that should be your earning capacity. Now, the other part of what I'm going to talk about in this video is what is the correct amount of income to say that someone is getting from their real estate dealings. Now, if you are a landlord and you hold property and you rent those properties out, or they have the ability to be rented out, the court may look to the fair market value or the fair rent value in that particular area to determine how much income you should be able to receive from those properties. Now, this is where it gets a little bit technical. What you want to be able to do, and your attorney can advise you about this, is you might want to have an expert talk about the market value. You might want to present some proof about the market value. You might want to present proof about the current state of the property. So if this is a property that maybe you bought at an auction, or maybe you bought it at a foreclosure, and maybe the people who are living in it at the time of your hearing are not paying rent, that may be something the court may consider. They may ask for your leases to show how much you are receiving from the tenants that are in your properties. They may also ask you to show what your mortgage is. So if you hold a mortgage on the property, they may also ask you for that so that they can see what your earnings actually would be. And you want to make sure that you look at what other expenses you may have. Do you pay a property manager? Have there been a lot of extensive repairs made within the time frame of the court's consideration? So those are things you can use. Now, the court may also look to what you put on your tax return, and often they will. Look to what you told the IRS were your earnings from that property. Now, again, sometimes people are going to downplay the amount of money that they're earning from the real estate properties, and that's where if you're on the other side of this, you're going to want to dig a little deeper to make sure that you understand and get a good picture of what the actual rental income is or could be if it was actually being rented at a fair value. All right, so again, once the court has an idea of what the fair rental income would be, minus the expenses that they will look at, again, mortgage, things of that nature, then the court will then take that and add that to either your other earnings or decide whether or not that's enough for that to be your only earnings. And then they will run the guidelines using the calculations and the formulas that's provided in the statute. So again, I hope that kind of listening to this video so far today, you understood that there are a lot of things that go into consideration. And there are some things that I didn't talk about today because, of course, this is a short video. But I want people to understand that it's always the potential for more than just your W-2 earnings, your take-home pay that you get from your regular job, that the court can consider. And you need to be prepared, no matter which side of this that you're on, to be able to present your case. Make sure you have the right documents. Make sure you are able to elicit testimony from the right person. Don't count on the other person to tell the truth. So you want to make sure that you present your evidence and your arguments in the right way from the right people to make the case that you need to make, whether you are the person paying child support, person receiving child support, whether you are the person who has a rental income or the person alleging that the other person has a rental income. No matter which side of the coin you fall on, there are things that you need to make sure that you do to have your ducks in a row well ahead of your master's hearing. And often this is going to be the type of case that will go to a master's hearing because there's a lot of things that must be considered that only a master or a judge has the authority to make decisions about. A conference officer generally is not going to be able to do that. All right, I hope that you learned a lot from this video. Make sure that if you have questions, you put them down in the comments below. We'll try to answer those comments in a different video, talk about those topics or issues that you raise. If there are other things that you would like us to talk about revolving around child support, custody, or divorce, again, put them in the comments. We're doing a video every day of 2021, and if you hit subscribe and the notification bell, you'll get a notification every time we drop a new video this year. All right, until next time, take care.